Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Strap yourselves in for the Gaming Hub. With your hosts, Tyler.
You can't handle the truth!
Graham.
The force is strong in this one.
And Steven.
You cannot be serious!
Let's get started.
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 99 of the Gaming Hub. I am your host, Tyler, joined as always by our two co-hosts. Let's start with Graham. Graham, how are you this week?
I am doing good this week. Gaming-wise, it's been kind of quiet because I'm doing another thing that I really enjoy, and that's music and going to concerts. Saw some awesome shows, made some great memories. As far as gaming, Battlefield 1 was probably to the extent, played a little bit of Rocket League, but I didn't get into anything deep, but really enjoying the Battlefield 1. Looks amazing in 4K HDR. So, yeah, that was pretty much my week.
Were you playing multiplayer or were you playing the, war stories?
This time I was just playing the multiplayer, and
Okay.
I was enjoying it. At first I was doing, the full-blown... it's not called Conquest, because it's kind of follows a story. I forget what it's called.
Mhm.
And then I played Rush Mode, and I was actually doing quite well in Rush Mode.
Okay.
So I'm definitely excited to get back to that, and I'm getting more and more pumped for Battlefield 5. But that's a ways away, so I'll definitely play some Battlefield 1 before that comes out.
Awesome. And we're going to see a lot more about Battlefield 5 in 7 days. So,
Very soon.
yeah, looking forward to that. And we'll be talking about that here in a second. But let's go to Steve first. Steve, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. I had jury duty this week. That was fun. But I'm off now, so, excited about that. I've been playing a lot of the Dark Souls Remastered. I made it all the way to Anne Orlando. And, that's probably a good quarter to halfway through the game. Maybe probably a third to half. And I've been enjoying that. I played a little Detroit Become Human. Enjoying that. I want to sit down and have a little nice meaty play session with that because I don't think the game's super long. And I haven't really been playing anything multiplayer-wise. I'm trying to finish God of War so I can get into Kingdom Hearts and do all that before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. And yeah, that's about it for my gaming. What about you, Tyler?
Played a lot of MLB The Show this week. And I played a little bit of Black Ops 3. As I'm still, kind of trying to work through that. I'm excited for the Black Ops 4 release. I am still bummed that there's no campaign, but it's alright, I guess. Work was kind of weird this week. It's been different lately than it normally is. But I will say yesterday, I learned, a valuable lesson around VR. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, out of respect. But VR is incredibly real for some people. And it's not for everyone, and I think that, as we talk, I think we might have a question later today about sort of what the next steps are in gaming, something to that effect, and it's one of the reasons that, spoiler, I don't think VR is going to take over as the dominant thing, because, man, not everybody handles it the same, and I got a very first-hand experience with that yesterday, and saw it, and, not starts out on a downer, but, yeah. Interesting lesson about VR, because we get so excited about the tech, right? It's really cool and it's awesome. But there's the other side to it too. And it's and it's hard for me sometimes to put it into context because it doesn't have that effect on me. Same way 3D didn't have any negative effects on me. I enjoyed it. But I know some people hate it. It makes some people dizzy, gives them headaches. If you wear glasses, it can be cumbersome, and all that stuff. So, in fact, I don't think either of you guys are huge 3D fans, if I remember right. But, it's a different way of looking at it to see firsthand. But anyway, that's been my gaming exposure for the week. We mentioned Battlefield 5, that we're going to see more of it soon. We're going to see that at E3. And that starts in 1 week from today. We're recording this on Saturday. 1 week from today kicks off the biggest gaming show of the year, and we are all super excited to be a part of it. And I want to take a couple seconds just to announce our E3 coverage plan. So what we're going to do, we're going to have live coverage for EA, Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Sony. And that's going to come in the form of live pre-shows on Twitch 30 minutes prior, we will be hosting the show live on our channel, so you'll know you won't have to move, you won't have to go anywhere. You can check out our pre-show, go right into the conference, and then right after the conference, we'll have a post-show for each of those conferences that'll also get posted as an episode on iTunes, CastBox, Pocket Cast, whatever it is you listen to. Nintendo we're also going to have coverage of, but it's not going to be live. We do have jobs. We can only miss so many days of work. So Nintendo is kind of a direct format. It's not a live conference. It's video delivery. So we'll be watching it that day, and we'll do a show that night recapping Nintendo and have that out for you as an episode as well. The reason I bring all this up is because if you're listening to us on Dash Radio right now is the time to take that step and go subscribe to us on iTunes, CastBox, Pocket Cast, whatever it is. That's the only way you're going to get that E3 coverage from us. Those episodes will not air on Dash Radio. You'll get our normal episode 100, which I'll talk about in a second. And you'll get the episode coming out of E3, kind of sort of the big recap. But you won't get that coverage of each of those conferences. If you're already a subscriber, that's awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that. And you're going to get wall-to-wall E3 coverage from us this year, bigger than we've ever done. This is our third year doing it. So we have a lot of really cool stuff planned. And if you're not following us on Twitch yet, now is the time to do that so that you don't miss anything. TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. Here's the other cool part. Every one of those post shows, we're going to do a giveaway. Every single one. And that's going to be for people that either submit questions for that conference that we read on the show, or if you're in Twitch, watching, taking part, and asking questions there. The way to do that, follow us on Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub. Join our Facebook group, the Gaming Hub Forums. Follow us on Twitter, at TXH Gaming Hub. And when you're at any of those, you can find our link to Discord, which is probably the best way to have us see your message really fast, is join our Discord and take part there. We also have a YouTube channel where all of our E3 episodes will be going up. And that is the Gaming Hub podcast there. So with that said, next week is a very big episode for us. We're going to celebrate both 2 years and 100 episodes of doing this crazy show.
Crazy.
I know.
Can you believe it? It's a 100 episodes already, Tyler.
I know,
or
it's
it will be.
I know, 100 episodes next Friday. It's crazy to think about that we've done that much of this. And we've done this for 2 years now. Mm-hmm. And next week's going to be a celebration. And we're going to do some giveaways next week too. And it's going to be, a little bit looking back at kind of what we've done, how we've changed over 2 years. But it's mostly going to be about you, the community. You're the reason we're still here doing this. You're the reason that we've got some really special treats coming for you in the next few weeks. And I'm not going to talk about them right now, but trust me on that. You're the reason all that's happened. You've helped us grow, you've helped us get bigger, and we're going to celebrate you as we hit both 2 years and 100 episodes on the same day. We're really excited to do that, and I think it's fitting, Graham, that all of this happens as we kick off E3 coverage, where it all began for us 2 years ago when we had no idea what we were doing.
And we have a bit more of an idea now.
Yeah. And, we'll all take time to thank Steven, because that's where it all turned around, right? At least, Steve, you'll attest to that.
Yes, he will.
No, but we're happy to have Steve as part of the team. And I feel like the show has moved in the right direction and doing all the right things for the last, few months. And I think the response that we've gotten from the community has backed that thought up. So thank you for your support. Next week's going to be a celebration of all of that. We've got some cool things we're going to announce next week that you can be a part of in the community. And we can't wait to announce those to you next week. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. Again, the Gaming Hub.
Right now.
Yep, right now. Don't stop listening to do it. Wait till the episode's over, but then do it. But subscribe to us, the Gaming Hub, on iTunes, CastBox, Pocket Casts, anything you listen to. And so you don't miss a single thing during E3. Because I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, anything to add on that? I've talked way too long.
Not really. I'm definitely excited to hit that mark, and I'd like to personally thank everyone, and you'll probably hear me thank you a few more times in that episode.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate being brought on, and I appreciate all the support the community has given us. And if you haven't, I'm just going to back Tyler's statements up. Definitely going to want to join some of those groups before next Friday, and definitely before E3, because, you know, you could have a chance at winning stuff. And who doesn't like winning free stuff? I know I do. So, you know, that's your only way. If you don't ask questions, you can't win.
Yep.
You know?
And my last ask of you, everybody out there, if you like the show, you enjoy the show, we know a lot of you do, and thank you. Tell a friend that likes video games. Tell a friend that likes podcasts. Tell somebody, you know, tell them, hey, listen to the show. These guys, you know, I think they're cool for whatever reason. You know, tell them that, have them listen to it, and help spread the word and help us grow. That's going to make us even bigger and help us to provide the experience we want to you. Because we do have plans. We're going to talk about those next week as we hit episode 100, because it's kind of a look at where we've been and where we're going to go. And I just want to thank everybody again. Next week's going to be a really big week for us. We're excited, and I can't wait to share that with all of our listeners next Friday. So with that, without any further ado, let's jump into news, guys. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Me.
All right. So, Graham, your dreams all came true last week. In a few ways. So
All of them.
I know all of Graham's dreams came true. So
I'm a simple man.
yeah. Fallout 76. You don't know what it is, but you're really excited about it. So talk about that. Like, it was announced last week. We saw a brief trailer. You know, we got the tease first with the please stand by screen.
Yes.
And everybody knows what that means.
Yes.
So it's not a proper Fallout sequel, at least that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me what you think it might be. Well, no, tell me what you hope it is. Because we're going to find out a week from now what it really is. Tell me what you hope it is. And,
You know-
and what would it take for you to say, I'm not interested in this game?
If it's just a straight up battle royale, then I'll be like, I'm not interested. That's
Okay.
about the only thing, because like it's the lore, it's the music. Like, to me, Bethesda does games right, and specifically with Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's rumors swirling that this is an online game, potentially co-op online. We don't really know, but I'm definitely excited for it. They're still saying there's gonna be like side quests and stuff like that, so it's still gonna be Fallout. And like I said, it's kind of like speculation,
Mm-hmm.
but man, I'm excited. Like, this actually predates like chronological order in the game. This would be the first one. It's supposed to happen like 20 years after the bombs fell and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's probably just like 500 people. But so, like, story-wise, it's awesome because it comes before everything. It's supposed to be before super mutants. So
Mhm.
they have a lot of directions they can go with this game. And like I said, it's Bethesda, it's Fallout. So I'm definitely excited. And there's not much would make me not want to buy this game.
So
So I'm excited.
Let me ask this question, Graham, before we go to Steve. This fall, we're getting a game that we know is going to have a huge open world experience in an online way, and that is Red Dead 2.
Yes.
If you get a living multiplayer, you know, MMO style Fallout world, does that appeal to you more than Red Dead 2?
Oh, 100%.
Steve, how about you?
No,
No, not
because
me
I'm
either.
so excited for Red Dead 2.
I am too.
But that doesn't mean I'm not excited for Fallout 76.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play Fallout 76. Graham will probably be disappointed in how long I play it for. Never know, it might hook me. I actually played ESO for a good, I don't know.
Hour.
No. Probably like 30, 40 hours in that game.
Well, you played it longer than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
There were times where I sat down and played it for like, 6 to 8 hours in a day. And gave it a really honest try. Did a lot of the stuff, and yeah, had a pretty decent time with it. Steve, do you think it's going to be, we had this conversation earlier this week, but I'm asking you again for the show. Do you think it's just going to be the Fallout version of ESO, or do you compare it to something else?
No, I think it's hard to say. I don't want to speculate too much, especially since we're probably going to see what it is in a week. I could see it being somewhat like DayZ, maybe. So like a survival game.
Okay.
I would like avoid at all costs. But
I
if
think
it's
Graham
like
would like that. Yeah.
yeah, because he liked Ark, I think.
Not really.
No? Okay.
I don't know. It didn't grab me like I was hoping. But a big comparison to this game too is Rust, which I've never played. Have you played that, Steven?
No, but that's like the same type of thing.
Yeah.
To me, like, if it's like a co-op game and more like the Destiny where you're not really playing against other people, then I would definitely be interested in buying this. Because I am also a big Fallout fan, just not insane like Graham.
Not crazy.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. But I do like Fallout, so I'm interested in this, but I want to see more about it before I give my final verdict on whether or not I'll be picking it up. But if I've heard something like some people might speculate that it's like The Sims, and that I definitely buy.
Okay.
So we'll see in a week. I think. Hopefully.
Cool. So like Steve said, we're going to see a lot more about this game in a week during the Bethesda show, and we'll be there. Live coverage of all of it, both pre-show and post-show, so make sure you join us for that. Assassin's Creed Odyssey officially announced by Ubisoft this week, and so what I want to do real quick is, we don't know very much about this game other than that it's supposedly a direct follow-up, a sequel to Origins. And we saw a little screenshot of the guy being like kicked off the cliff or whatever.
What'd that remind you of?
Yeah, I know.
300.
300, yeah. So what I want to ask, though, because we're gonna see a lot about this next week too, and we'll actually be able to talk about the game and what it is, and when it's coming out. Because I'm assuming we're getting this fall, but who knows?
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about all this stuff getting revealed prior to E3?
It sucks.
It does.
Bottom line.
I think so too. Unless, like, the only thing that like would make it okay is if they have a bunch of other stuff they're trying to reveal, like new IPs, and they're getting all their like sequels out of the way now. But I don't think that's happening. I think just some of these companies want to be the first to report, and like I understand why, but it's annoying because I don't want to see, like, E3 is supposed to be like awesome, and if I know everything that's coming, then it's less awesome and more like ugh.
Honestly, so far, the only company we haven't heard anything from yet is Microsoft. Really.
Yeah.
Because EA started tweeting out stuff about Anthem the other day. I shared that on Discord with our group. We've seen Ubisoft now with Assassin's Creed. We've seen Bethesda now with Fallout. Bethesda's usually really good about throwing surprises out there. So part of it might be that they're getting some stuff out of the way, and it might be some smoke and mirrors too. Like, oh, they're showing what they got, and in reality, they have something much bigger in their pocket.
Yeah, that
kind of
could
be
the
the
I'm
case.
leaning. Yeah.
It might also, though, be because they're trying to get in front of the leaks, so they can control the message about the game.
Yeah.
And it might be a combo platter of those. Some might be because of leaks, some might be because they've got something much bigger, ready to go. So I'm hoping that, Graham, it's your optimistic version of this. And
I would say, yeah, I know. Yeah. Like, the optimism does tell me that because they're saying it's going to be the biggest one ever, and maybe they're like, maybe there's an additional Fallout announcement coming as well. Like, that's kind of what it's not a prediction. That's kind of what I'm thinking could happen.
The only thing that's going to come out and be a bigger deal than a Fallout thing is Elder Scrolls, I think.
Yeah, but I mean another Fallout thing, like, it's going to coincide with it.
But how much do you really want to release in a year, though? Because, like, what if Microsoft came out and said, we have Halo 6 and Halo Wars 3 and a Halo something else, all coming this fall? We would be so excited about Halo 6, but at the same time, we'd probably, like, attack, because that's too much. Like, they space it out, And, some companies like to release 2 versions of every game. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But I don't think we're gonna see a different Fallout thing, Graham, unless we see like what was the mobile game that they did a couple
Fallout
years
Shelter?
ago? Yeah, Shelter. I keep wanting to say Vault, but it's Shelter.
Yeah.
We could see like something smaller like that, but still we don't know what 76 is. So
Yeah, we don't know.
Who knows? But I hate that all these announcements are coming out early. Like this week is so much fun for me. E3 week, and all the surprises you see, and it's getting more and more rare to see the surprises be actually surprises anymore.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we'll find out in a week if they have more up their sleeve or not. But Bungie and NetEase, a Chinese company, announced $100 million investment deal to create new worlds for Bungie. So I want to be clear here. This isn't to expand the Destiny universe. This is so Bungie can go from being a one franchise developer to being a multi-franchise developer. So first of all, a question for everybody. Steve, I'll go to you first. Do you want Bungie to be a multi-franchise developer? Have they earned that? And second, if they're going to do it, what type of genre do you want to see them go into?
If you would have asked me this question like 3 years ago, I would have said, yeah, they deserve it. But now, I mean, Destiny and Destiny 2 haven't been anything like special, in my opinion. And a lot of the expansions haven't been great either. So, like, Destiny 2 was like kind of disappointing compared to like what the hopes were after Destiny. So I almost wonder if they would go away from like the super connected world and go back to like what they did with Halo and create like a single player shooter set in a cool world like that. I mean, with some multiplayer aspects. I don't know. They do shooting really well, so I'd imagine it's going to be a different version of a shooter. But
maybe something more story driven.
Yeah, but yeah.
I could see that. I don't know that I want them to go outside of the shooter realm. They've shown that they can at least do that well. The mechanics of the shooter, and even in Destiny 2, are fine. They're good. It's just the other stuff. But, Graham, I know you're a huge fan of Destiny.
Do you? I didn't know that.
Graham, Steve spent, what, about 4 hours in the raid?
Probably.
Yeah, about 3 of them in the bathhouse portion of it. So, but Graham, first of all, like I don't think you're a huge like Bungie fan as a developer, not like you are with Bethesda.
No, that's safe to say.
So, are you excited about this? Like, does this get you excited about? I can't wait to see what they're gonna do next, or are you just like, okay, cool?
No, but like I'm not gonna close my mind. I'm like, whatever they show me, I'm not gonna like or whatever like that. Like it's always good to see more games being developed and stuff like that. So they could come up with something, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing, and I'm excited and stuff like that. But as of right now, no, I'm not that excited. But it's good, and I'm optimistic that they will make the game that I've been waiting for my whole life. That I don't know what it is yet. But yeah. As far as like saying Bungie, I'm like, ooh, what are they gonna give me? So no, I'm not that excited.
I'll be honest, I thought Destiny was that game for me, Graham, like the first one. When I played the beta, I was like, this is like the best thing I never knew I wanted, Yep. And it didn't turn out that way. Although I still say I enjoyed Destiny 1 more than 2. A lot more. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what I think we're a long way from any sort of announcement on what they're actually going to be doing, but it's there. The foundation's there now for them to kind of spread their wings and become a multi-franchise developer. So let's see what happens. All right, Graham, you're going to be excited because most of the rest of this is on Nintendo.
Woo!
Yay! So there's a Switch game called Pokemon Quest. It's free to play, and it launched this past week, and it hit over 1 million downloads in just 2 days. So, Graham, defend it. Tell us how awesome it is, and have you played it? What's it about?
It is amazing. You gotta play it. You gotta pick it. No. Honestly, it wasn't until this morning that I actually downloaded it because it was free. I wouldn't have paid for it. I was big into Pokemon Go when it came out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I even tried to go back into like the older Pokemon games. I think I downloaded Pokemon Yellow on my 3DS, and I was working my way through it, and I was kind of enjoying it and stuff like that. But Pokemon has never been like that Nintendo game for me. That's probably like that and Kirby. They usually just fell off the table for me as far as Nintendo goes. But this people really like Pokemon. Like Pokemon's been around for a while, and they have a huge following, fan base, and stuff like that. So I know people are really excited for this, and it seems to be a lot of Pokemon stuff coming up in the near future. So yeah, no, that's great too. And I'm not surprised that it got 1 million downloads in just 2 days, mainly because it was free. But people are just hungry for Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch, and I think they'll be happy to see what Nintendo has up their sleeve for them.
Okay. So since you're not a huge Pokemon fan, I'm guessing you haven't already pre-ordered Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, those were both announced this week. They launched November 16th, and Graham, so we're not going to get too deep into it because we'll talk about this at E3, right? We'll see a bunch of this and talk about it. But there's supposedly another mainline like Pokemon game coming later by next year. And hopefully we see some of that too. Although I don't want Nintendo's whole show to be dominated by Pokemon.
Yeah, it won't be.
I don't think it will be either.
It'll be dominated by Smash.
But tell me this, riddle me this, Graham. What would happen if Microsoft came out and said, we're bringing Gears of War 5, and you can buy the Gears of War 5 this edition, or the Gears of War 5 that edition, and depending on which edition you get different playable characters.
I know where you're going with this.
What would happen to them?
What would happen to them? Well, they have a strong fan base, and people buy collectibles, and people will buy both of them.
No, Graham. In the court of public opinion on social media, what would happen to Microsoft if they did that?
They would get destroyed.
Yes, they would. You know they would. And I think even Sony might. But for some reason, like every Pokemon game has like 2 different versions.
And the only difference is you get like 1 different Pokemon in each one or something like that. Like I don't know
Not
the
one
specifics.
different Pokemon. There's like a million different.
No, there's different characters, yeah.
And well, like Pokemon Sun and Moon had different time periods as well. Like if you played Sun, you know, time was normal, but Moon was advanced 12 hours. So
yeah, it's just 12 hours difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But overall though, like I don't think there's that many different parts. Like I said, I don't really know. But it's a marketing thing, I'm sure, and it's works great for them. So why wouldn't they just stick with that? Because basically they've started it now, so they feel like they got to do it anyways, and people will buy it because they're like, "Oh, I want this one."
And Graham, I think you're right. I think people are conditioned to just knowing this is what they do.
Yeah.
So they're okay with it.
I mean, I think it started as a way to like get people to interact with each other, because like the idea is, you know, I have Pokemon Red and Graham, you have Pokemon Blue, and there's Pokemon I can catch that you can't, and vice versa. And so the idea is to trade the Pokemon back and forth if you're trying to collect them all and like play with people. So like I could see that, and it just became like the standard for Pokemon. And again, Pokemon's like the only thing that does this. There's no other Nintendo franchise that does this.
No.
So like, I mean, I guess we could blame Nintendo, but it's Niantic that has the issue. But going back to the Let's Go games, like what if you were to choose one, which one would you buy, Pokemon or Pikachu or Eevee?
I don't even know. I would probably just pick Pikachu just because I know the name and.
Well, I know Eevee too because I caught like 800,000 of them in Pokemon Go. Yeah. But probably Pikachu.
I'd go Eevee because Eevee's better.
Okay.
Am I the biggest Pokemon fan here? I think I am.
100%.
And to be honest, like based on the trailer of this, like I don't know how this game really works. Like what is involved in it that will keep me coming back to play it? Because to be honest, like I might pick this game up. It all depends on what I see in reviews and stuff. But I'm more excited for the full Pokemon game that comes next year than this.
Yeah.
Like, I could be tempted, into trying it, because I've never really played a full, like, standard release Pokemon game before. I played Pokemon Go. We spent almost an entire episode, remember, Graham, on Pokemon Go, like, way, way back in the day.
Yes.
It was a single-digit episode. But that was when the craze was going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead, Steve.
And what I heard about this is it's supposed to be a game that's like kind of introducing new players to the Pokemon series as like to bridge the gap between like the strict JRPG elements of like the mainline Pokemon games and people that just got into Pokemon Go because it was free and kind of cute and fun and all that.
And so, to that effect, Steve, it's got some integration with Pokemon Go, right?
Sure. Yes.
So, that's another way to kind of get those players in, right? So any character you catch in like Pokemon Go and collect, they can be integrated into the Let's Go game, where I think the way I understand it is it's like kind of a zoo. You just get to see them there.
Yeah.
And whatever. But it's another way to try to bring those players in.
Yep.
So,
and let's be real, these games will sell like hotcakes.
Oh, of course they will. And I'm not. And when I used that example before, like with Gears of War, I'm not knocking this. I think it's a little silly, but I get it, and it's kind of fun, and it fits to promote that trading aspect. I actually think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I really don't think it's anything else because there's no reason to buy both. I know a lot of people do buy both because they're collectors and they just like owning both copies. But most people pick one and then just trade with people. And now that the internet has become a thing, it's so easy to get all the Pokemon that you can't. Because like the whole like trading, what's the word? Like in the game, you can just type in what Pokemon you want and then people like ask for Pokemon back. And you can just trade that way, and it's really cool and really easy, and it's awesome. And I don't have a problem with this because there's nothing like majorly different minus the Pokemon, and in some cases the bad guys, like in Ruby and Sapphire, which team was bad?
Rocket?
No, it was Team Magma and Team Aqua that were like bad in each game. But it's just minor story details, nothing that like you need to buy both to play or to get the experience.
Yeah, and Steve, there are collectors out there. I mean, we have a collector on our show.
Guilty.
Yeah. So, Graham, just real quick before we go into our last story, if Fallout 4 is released on Switch,
yes, I will buy it.
No. The question is not will you buy it, but how many times will you have bought Fallout 4 at that point?
At that point, I'm probably pushing 6 or 7.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
Yeah, there's a lot. I admit I have a problem or have a problem.
No, I mean, real quick before we go on, if you guys watched the trailer, you saw the little like Pokemon ball controller thing that's supposed to act like a Joy-Con. I can't wait because Dark Souls Remastered's coming to the Switch later or in the summer, and I can't wait to see someone beat Dark Souls with that little controller, because someone did it with a Guitar Hero controller and a Dance Dance Revolution pad, so someone's gonna do it with that little Pokemon ball, and that's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
Graham, do your Drunk Soul scream with the Pokeball controller.
Oh yeah, I couldn't even do it with a normal controller.
So for everybody out there, if anybody joined Graham, and it's still like video on demand, right, on Twitch, Graham?
Yes.
We didn't delete it? Okay, good. So Graham did a Drunk Soul stream first time through playing the game.
That was a terrible idea, but
bad idea. And so Graham's like pounding back shots left and right. And for anybody that was wondering, like Graham said, I'm going to come back and stream later. Yeah, okay.
I streamed in my dreams.
So yeah, Graham went night-night in like what, the afternoon?
It was daylight. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like 2 o'clock Pacific time, so 5 o'clock. It was I guess dusk. It was dusk for Graham.
Well, if you watch stream, you'll see how much daylight is still there, probably.
Well, the sun doesn't even set right now until like 8.
That's true.
So, yeah, Graham went night-night in the middle of the day because you died that many times. I think that's awesome. So it's cool that you did that stream. You should do it with Pokeball. Because, well, no, don't. Because we don't want you to die, Graham.
Yeah. I'll have to have a
Alcohol poisoning.
doctor on notice.
Yeah,
On
Graham being
standby.
like getting his stomach pumped and everything. We don't need that. So, okay. Last up, Fortnite, very likely coming to the Nintendo Switch, according to the Korean Game Rating Board. They posted a rating for Fortnite on Switch. I actually think Fortnite's a great title for Nintendo Switch. What do you guys think?
Well, it's on Android, so it just makes sense for it to come to the Switch. And yes, I could almost bet anything that it will be on the Nintendo Switch. And I think it's fitting, and I think will do well. That's my opinion.
What do you think,
And
Graham? Should this be the one where like Microsoft and Nintendo get together and say we're going to do crossplay?
That's actually not a bad idea. Well,
they've been doing it with Minecraft, have they not?
I was just gonna say, and
Yeah.
Rocket League as well.
And Rocket League.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why not this one? It's free to play. It has a huge following, amongst gamers, and it's brought in a lot of casual gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So Fortnite's actually served as a great like entry point into gaming for a lot of people. I think crossplay is a great idea. Not that they need it. It's not that you need to boost the player base to make sure you're getting matches. There's no problem getting matches in Fortnite.
No problem at all.
But I think that's another way. Like, we love a lot of things about Sony, but want to put a little pressure on them because, you're not protecting all the children. You're protecting your thing by not agreeing to crossplay. And I know what the messaging is, and it's crap. Sorry. But it is. So, I want to put some more pressure there because there are games that would really benefit, guys, from crossplay. And having that extra, number of players in there to get more games. I can see every sports game benefiting from that. I can see some of your shooters that are like a year old really benefiting from that. So I would like to see it. Steve, thoughts?
I don't care either way. I mean, it's cool, and crossplay would be awesome, but it's not like a seller to me.
No,
I just,
not.
I don't know. It just doesn't. I have like no opinion on it, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, I understand why Sony doesn't, and I understand why Microsoft would kind of want it, just to increase player base. And I don't know. Just if it happens, cool. And it, the precedence is there for Microsoft and Nintendo, so it very likely.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see Sony getting involved, and this is not the one thing that'll like piss Sony fans off, being like, oh, Fortnite is crossplay between those two, but we are not. We're gonna go after them. That's not.
No, and that won't. It would put
No.
pressure from like the outside, not from within their fan base. But
Yeah.
But they haven't succumbed to the pressure from the outside yet. And
Yeah,
I don't
this-
think they
this-
will.
This
But-
doesn't add that much more.
No, I agree. So I mean, we can dream, right? I'd like to see it happen someday. Not for Fortnite, just in general. But,
Oh yeah.
But I don't think it's coming anytime soon. Especially if one of my predictions that we'll get to here in a minute comes true. So anything else on the news items, guys, before we move on?
No.
Nope.
I think
All
we can
right,
switch
so-
it up.
God, Graham. Anyway, snap your fingers, Graham. Just do it right now. Thank
There you go.
Okay. So anyway, next week is E3. I think we mentioned that a couple times, and
Couple.
yeah, like every year we've got predictions ready to go for E3. So the way we're doing it this year, we each have 5 predictions to make, and then we each made a 6th prediction that is kind of a reach, something that we kind of don't think will happen, but we think there's a chance. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll get a big surprise, or either that, or we just really, really, really want it to happen. So before we jump into predictions, I want to remind everybody again, now is the time to join our community. Tell us what you think about what your E3 predictions are. Next week on episode 100, we'll spend some time talking about your predictions, what you think is going to happen. Also, we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways next week. Next Fridays, we celebrate 100 episodes in 2 years of doing this. And we're going to be doing giveaways all the way through E3. And the only way you can catch our E3 episodes is to join the community and subscribe to the show on iTunes, CastBox, Pocket Cast, whatever it is that you listen to. Go there and subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. All right, you can join our Facebook group, the Gaming Hub forums. You can follow us on Twitter at TXH Gaming Hub. Follow us on Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub. There we'll have pre and post shows of every single major conference and E3. Minus Nintendo, we'll just do a later post show for that one. But make sure you join, everybody, this week. And please tell someone, tell a friend about the show. Have them join in, have them take part. Tell them, hey, at the worst thing that can happen is you might win something.
And then give it to them.
Yeah. So, but let's jump into predictions, guys. So we're going to go kind of roundtable format here. And, Graham, let's start with you.
Okay.
So what is your first prediction?
My first prediction, obviously we were talking about Fallout 76, and we know it's coming. We just don't know when it's coming. Well, I think Bethesda, they realized how much people enjoyed how they announced, Fallout 4, and it's coming out this fall in November. So I think they're going to stick with that, and they're going to say Fallout 76, and they're going to show it, and it's going to be pretty extensive what they show, and they're going to be like, well, this game you will be able to play it this fall. So I think that is going to happen. That's my prediction.
Steve, I think Graham just scored a point because in other news, water's wet.
Yeah, that's cheating.
You think it was that?
Good job, Graham.
You think so? Okay.
I do. I think that one's going to happen. I think you're going to be right. I mean, there's a chance it won't.
Then.
There's a chance it won't, Graham, but I think you're going to be right. So I'm going to amend my first prediction to FIFA 19 will be announced and released this year. No, I'm just kidding. Steve, let's go to you next. What do you got?
All right, well, I'm going to go a little bigger than Graham's. I'm going to say the reason Halo 6 is probably not coming this year is because that Microsoft's going to announce VR and that Halo 6 will be fully playable in VR. And that took some development time, and that's the reason that we haven't really heard anything about Halo 6, is Microsoft's going to team up and bring some sort of VR capacity to the Xbox, and then Halo 6 will be included and fully playable.
So, now, do you mean it's going to be a pack-in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
That's awesome.
So that's your reach, right?
No, that's
number one.
Not my reach.
I think, Steve, you're onto something, and I think it's a fully viable prediction that we could see VR from Microsoft this year, because we have
eventually.
Everybody's gone super silent on VR lately.
Yes.
Even Sony, who has a VR headset. I know, because I have one.
In the box, though.
Do you?
In a box. It's a collector's item.
Ridiculous.
It's in good shape.
Yeah,
it's in great shape. It is in pristine order. Pristine condition. So, anyway, I think it's very likely we'll see that. And maybe not super likely, but I wouldn't be that shocked. I'd just be really excited. Especially if they can pull off Halo, Steven, just like it looks on your TV.
Yeah.
No difference. If they can pull that off, that's amazing. And that does change the VR game at that point, in my mind. Because it raises the bar for everybody. And wait then till we get, and Steve, you got to do it. Wait till we get the first legit horror game that has seamless VR playability.
No, I don't have
spiders. Giant spiders.
Giant spiders,
that's what I'm worried
yes.
about. If Halo 6 brings back the Flood, I don't think I'm going to be buying it in VR, because those things are spider-ish, the little tiny ones. No, thank you. No, thank you.
So, but think of Last of Us in VR, or Evil Within in VR, something like that. Even the smaller games, like Layers of Fear in VR, would be really intense. So,
yeah. And you guys enjoy that.
Until dawn.
Yeah, Until Dawn. And they did a VR thing, just not the full game.
Yeah.
So,
It's
anyway,
unreal.
no, I'm just kidding with you, Steve. I know there's zero chance of that occurring. So mine, I'm going to stick, my first one, I'm going to stick with Microsoft here. I think they're going to have reps from Platinum Games on stage, and they're going to announce a new game that is being developed by them for the Xbox One, and I think there's a really good chance it's going to be the revival of Scalebound.
Yes. I'm on board with that.
Yeah,
I might be the only one.
Yeah, I know you were really excited for it, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, out of the three of us, but I'm sure
with
there's
the dragon.
many others.
No, there were a lot of people.
Yeah, there were a lot of people.
Based on the groups that were not laughed when this was canceled, but there was my little small little niche group that really wanted this game, and that was me, and being able to fight next to a dragon sounded awesome, and so
and Steve, Graham, I should say, regardless of how excited you or I were for the game, it still fills like a major gap in their library in what they offer.
Oh yeah, yes.
So
they need to do this.
Yeah, they're too narrow in genres right now. It's like, I'm waiting for them to announce, here's the game where you race around a car and shoot at the same time.
Yeah.
Go.
We combine Forza into Gears because then it saves some development, and there's your game, guys.
Yeah. Every time you shift gears perfectly accurately, you're like, hell yeah. So.
And there'll be 2 editions: the Dom edition and the Marcus Phoenix edition,
with different cars.
Yep.
So you
collect
can
them all.
Yeah, collect them all. So anyway, Graham, back to you. What's your second one?
Okay, so my second one is Nintendo will announce another Zelda game to be remastered for the Switch, and I was kind of leaning to Skyward Sword because that's kind of the game that fell between the cracks, and I think that this could revive it, and obviously I would buy it. And because I never finished it on the Wii, I don't know how much time I actually put into it because I wasn't big on the motion controls and all that stuff, but I definitely would like to get back into it, and if it got remastered on Switch, I'd be all in. And I kind of just threw in one along with that. There will be a Zelda-themed Switch will be announced along with it, and then I'll have to scramble and get one, so I don't have to spend a lot extra money to get one.
Stop.
But I feel like every other Nintendo system has had one of these systems, so I would think that one will come, whether it be at this point in time. But if a Skyward Sword does get announced, this could be the time where they would package it in as a collection. So that is my prediction number 2. And Tyler,
okay, so
give me a hard time.
Well, Graham,
I just do what I want.
Graham, I think it'd be great if Nintendo had some sort of way where you could play older games on their system.
Oh.
But we don't know what it's called yet.
We don't know what it's called yet. Graham says it's coming. It's just going to have a different name. It's going to be, Purple Rainbow Unicorn.
No, I mean, I'll be nice. Graham, I hope that happens.
I do too.
I want to see a collection, actually, but I feel like it's Nintendo, so they know they can get $60 for each game. So they're not going to do a collection of, Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, and, Wind Waker. But that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
They could, though.
They could, but they won't.
They have done that before with the GameCube. They released all the NES games on the GameCube.
Yeah, but it's Nintendo now, and they charge $60 for Tropical Freeze, and that was just a Wii U game.
And you bought one.
I did buy it. I did, but I didn't have it on the
And
Wii
this is
U,
why they do it, Steve, because we buy it.
That's true. I mean, yeah, I am kind of to blame for this happening. But I'll buy any Zelda game that comes because I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild, and I'd like to play some of the older ones on my couch. I just I have Ocarina of Time on my DS, and it's just I don't like playing on my DS for that long period of time. So anything that allows me to play on my couch with my 4K TV, that as well be doing. So yeah.
All right, what's yours, Steve?
All right. Bethesda will announce a new Elder Scrolls game. However, it's not going to be the Elder Scrolls 6. It'll be like what New Vegas was for Fallout.
Okay.
And who's going to make it?
That's a good question. I haven't thought that far ahead in my predictions, Graham. I'm just predicting stuff. It could be Elder Scrolls 6, but I see the spin-off happening as more likely because the last I heard from Todd Howard that the Elder Scrolls 6 was a ways off.
I'm with you, but I think it is going to be Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean,
I think it is.
I'd be happy to be wrong on the second point in this case, as long as we get.
This year is 6 years since we got Elder Scrolls 5.
No, we had a remaster 3 years ago.
That doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
No. So, 6 years is about right for their development times. So I think there's a good chance that we get it. I mean, we'll see.
Hope so.
Okay, for me, Electronic Arts, EA, we'll have Respawn on stage showing off Respawn's Star Wars game. We won't get it, I don't think, till next year or the year after. But I think we're going to see it and see some of it this year. So that, I think, would breathe some real life into EA's conference if that happens. And I think there's a good chance that it will. Because everybody's so focused on Battlefield 5 and Anthem. I don't want to see any Battlefront 3 right now. I don't.
No.
It's just, it reminds me of disappointment. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't think you will.
No, I don't even think we'll see a tease. But I would love to see a tease of what Respawn's working on. Because Respawn does shooters really, really well. And so does DICE, and Battlefront was not fun. But I'm excited to see what Respawn will do with their take on it. So that's my second one. Graham, let's go back to you. What do you have?
Okay, so you guys might notice a little bit of a theme developing in my predictions, but my next one is a Mass Effect trilogy remastered will be announced for all systems. So PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch. Because I think people have wanted this backwards compatible for a long time, and we finally got it. And I think this is the time to do it. And if it's remastered like the first one, because that game came out a long time ago, I don't remember exactly when. But that game, when you're driving over like the different planets and stuff like that, if they remaster that in like 4K and maybe throw in HDR, that game will look stunning, and I will absolutely 100%. I won't get it on the Switch just because if it's in 4K HDR, I will get that for the One X.
Yeah.
And I will play through that trilogy, and I will enjoy the living crap out of it.
So here's my question, Graham. And this could happen, but here's my question: why now? Why not do it before Andromeda came out? To kind of get that excitement, you know?
Well, the One X wasn't out for one.
True.
I don't think.
No,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't be developing it just for the One X. You want to put it on
for
PlayStation as well.
PlayStation 4 Pro, yeah. So, but now because before it was no point to do it in 4K, but now you have two capable systems of 4K.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of want people still be thinking about Mass Effect and like Andromeda not so much. So they're like, okay, if we put this out, they'll kind of like forget about that, and then if we go back to it, we'll have like a high note to like, oh, the success of this, let's announce another Mass Effect in the future, something like that.
Okay, I mean, I can see that. All right, fair enough. Steve, what do you got?
All right, this one might be a reach, but it's not my reach. Final Fantasy VII remake is gonna get a release date, and it's gonna come out this year. That second part is my reach. That's questionable, but I really hope it does. I've been looking forward to this game for a while, and I think Sony might put it out this year just so. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's coming to the Xbox. In fact, I know it is, but I see it coming soon, and I'm hoping this year. So that's my prediction.
Okay. All right, mine. Guys, remember a couple weeks ago when Sony said that the next generation, they're entering the final phase of the current generation, but we're not going to see a new console for 3 years?
Yeah.
I don't believe them. At all.
No.
Nope. So you remember 2 years ago when Microsoft dropped that bomb at the end of their conference and they showed that sizzle reel for the One X? And everybody got so hyped. The video
6
with
teraflops.
Yeah, nobody really knew what a teraflop was, but it had 6 of them, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you know, but Todd Howard and all those people on there, I think we're going to get the exact same thing from Sony this year. Probably at the very end of their conference, showing off the PlayStation 5.
With 10
12
teraflops.
teraflops.
Yeah, with like, you know, around 12 or 6.1 teraflops, you know?
Octaflops.
Yes.
There you go.
It'll just say teraflops equals more than Xbox. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they have the greater symbol.
Yep.
PS teraflops greater than Xbox.
Yes.
Teraflop.
And we will not see a release date. We will not see a price. We won't see anything like that. But that would line it up perfectly to put Death Stranding as a launch title for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, no, it's quite possible, especially where they're like, oh, it's going to be a long time for the next one comes out. But they're like, well, we're kind of at the end of the cycle of this one. So I'm like, well, which one is it? So it's quite possible.
Yep. I can see that happening for sure. And it might not. They might be telling the truth, but I doubt it. I'm going to call them on it. And I think we're going to see it. And they just want it to be a massive surprise at the end. Because that's your win E3 moment. Basically, just in terms of getting people excited. So, I think that we're going to see that this year. So, all right, Graham, back to you.
Back to me again, huh? All right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys know this, but I know this. And I'm sure other people know this. But this year will mark the 10th anniversary for Fallout 3. And I think with that, because basically with Fallout 76, it's going to be kind of like a Fallout theme going at one point. So I think when they're going to stick to that theme, they're going to be like, Fallout 3 will be remastered for all systems. I stick to all systems because I'm an optimist. And when I say all systems, that includes the Nintendo Switch. So I think that's going to be a big part of it because Fallout 3 was very successful in its 10-year anniversary, and I think it will be successful. And as the guys just alluded to, looks like I'm going to have to buy it for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
You think it's only going to come on the Nintendo Switch?
No, I said all systems.
But Graham, what if they say that it's going to be like enhanced for the Xbox One X?
Well, I'll just buy it for both systems.
Oh my God, Graham!
Oh,
No,
I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Graham. There's so much new cool stuff coming out this year. Like, I don't want to hear anything from you on, oh, this is going to be so much money, because you're going to spend half of it on stuff you already played and bought, and you're going to buy like 2-3 copies of stuff.
Yeah, it
And
seems
then-
like it.
Yeah, and then you're
Oh.
and then you're gonna get like, then Red Dead's gonna come out and be like, I don't know.
Well,
No.
you can choose.
Okay. Steve, what do you got?
So, Microsoft will announce a sequel to the amazing JRPG on the Xbox 360 of Lost Odyssey, and Lost Odyssey 2 will be coming at some point to an Xbox console near you.
All right, sounds good. So, mine, Sony's going to actually commit to a release date for The Last of Us 2 during their conference this year.
No.
So we're going to see a trailer, we're going to see gameplay, and when it's going to end with a release date coming up. It's not going to be this year, but I could see it being a late spring release next year.
So you think it's gonna be actually a solid date, not like spring 2019 or just
so,
2019?
Let's say I get a half point if it's like spring 2019, but I get a full point if it's an actual date. So, but I think they're going to at least give us the window, but I do think we're going to see an actual day.
So if you had to pick a window, what window do you think they would release it in?
Late spring, early summer next year.
So Q2, Q1,
Yeah,
Q2.
Q2, somewhere in there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll see.
That's where I see it. They've had a lot of success releasing games in that window.
Yeah, because nothing else comes out around it.
Yep.
So, or nothing good.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to compete against the big third-party titles.
Yeah, Microsoft
So-
just chooses that hill to die on.
I know.
Every
I don't
year.
know why. Just like Forza's fine, I guess, but why in the world would you release Recore in the holiday season? Why
Yeah,
Sunset
or-
Overdrive? Why
Or Shadow of the Tomb Raider the same day Fallout 4 comes out.
Yeah,
Or Rise of
just-
the Tomb Raider, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to do that again with Shadow, too.
I know.
Release the same day as
Fall,
whatever.
70,
if
Fall
we get it.
76 is going to come out
Yeah.
that day.
Or the Elder Scrolls 6 will be out on the day that Shadow of the Tomb Raider is
Yeah.
supposed to come out.
And Square Enix is just going to cry. But
And we're like, no, have they learned nothing?
well, it's not even their fault this year because they got their release date out there first.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, like, Bethesda knows, like, for their big two anyway, for Fallout and Elder Scrolls, they can release on whatever day they want. Like, they could go up against Call of Duty and be fine.
Yeah, but can they go up against Red Dead 2 and be fine?
I don't think nobody else is coming out that day. Like, Call of Duty moved to get away from it.
Yeah.
So,
I'd buy both.
yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6 and Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
And I'd probably play the Elder Scrolls before. Not gonna lie.
So, Graham, back to you.
Back to me. Okay. This is kind of wishful thinking, and I'm sure Tyler's wishing for this as well. But please let me see an Unravel 2 being announced at E3. Please. And that is my prediction. And I'm hoping that one comes true. Along with every other one.
We know it's happening. It's
we do.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm taking your prediction to say that we'll see it on stage.
Yes.
We'll see the
that's
guy
what
on stage, which honestly, when he, I forget his name and I apologize, but when he was on stage in 2015, I think it was, like, that was one of the best moments of E3 because he had such like care and passion about that game. Like, he was stumbling through words, he was so nervous, and like the crowd got behind him. And like, you know, kind of helped him through it. They were clapping and cheering for him. That was a really kind of cool moment in what's normally a bad EA conference. So, and you could just tell like the passion he had behind this game. Like, he poured everything about him into the game, and it showed in the final product. Steve, I know you don't love it as much as like me and Graham, but there's no doubt that that game was made with a lot of care. And that game was made by someone who... That game was not conceived in a boardroom where they decide what game's going to sell the most copies.
Surprising, too, because it's
No.
EA.
I know.
And I
So-
feel like I learned a lot more about this guy as well from playing the game.
Yeah.
Because he did share some of his memories and stuff like that, and like the themes as well. Like, I'm like, okay, I can see this guy, this is what he's kind of against, and like,
Yep.
So yeah, no, it's really cool.
I'm with you, and I really hope we get to see it again this year. So I really do hope, Graham, that comes true. All right, Steve.
And on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
All right, my last non-reach. I know that FromSoft has a game in the works that is not of the Dark Souls or Bloodborne variety. However, I still think Sony is going to show Bloodborne 2 in their conference this week to the applause of many Sony fans.
Yeah.
And that is my last prediction.
We know that's coming though, right? Bloodborne 2?
No, we don't.
No, I don't think it's
no?
been actually announced yet.
Okay.
Like, we just assume.
Yeah,
You
okay.
know. All right,
It's
mine. We're going to get some Halo this year, everybody. It's not going to be Halo 6. That's going to make me sad. And this might make me more sad if this comes true, but I think there's a good chance it will. I think they're going to announce Halo 5 Battle Royale mode on stage. They're going to show it off, huge map, and they're going to say it's playable today as an update to Halo 5. That would not surprise me at all if we see that this year on the Microsoft stage.
Well, I think it's quite possible because I've heard this prediction elsewhere. So it seems like there's a good chance it could happen.
I just think they want to get something out for it, and this is a way to kind of capitalize on Battle Royale fever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a download for people who already have the game, so there's a built-in player base, all that stuff. And Steve, can you make the sound again?
And this will
so you're
cap out
excited.
the size of the game at 130 gigs.
Yeah, it'll like literally you'll just have to own like 2 Xbox Ones and hook the hard drives together. Yeah, I don't know that like Halo 5 is such a huge game already.
Mm-hmm.
So Steve, you're excited for this? No?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try it if it happens, but I probably won't stick to it. I'll probably just want to go back and, play Arena after doing Battle Royale. Because I tried the other one too, right? Like, what was their big new mode last time? I forget the name of it right now.
Warzone, I think.
Warzone, yeah, that's it. I tried that and I kind of had some fun with it, but then I just found myself going back and doing like Slayer.
Yeah.
So
Slayer.
yeah. So all right, let's do our Reach predictions. Graham, let's start with you.
Okay. I don't really know where this came from. It just kind of like dawned on me.
Okay.
I was kind of playing this game as of late. And we know that the third one to complete the trilogy is coming out in September, October. I don't remember. It's September. Okay. Yep. And the game I'm talking about, obviously, is Tomb Raider Rise, or Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But I think with that, the final one to complete the trilogy, they're going to announce a Tomb Raider trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they're going to announce for all systems. There's a good chance, but it's going to be announced for the Nintendo Switch, because they're going to see the success of Tomb Raider and all that stuff, and they're going to be like, we should jump on this. And I don't know with the power of the console how well Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I'm sure it can run Rise of the Tomb Raider, and that game is amazing. So I got faith in it, and I think they're going to just, they're going to do the trilogy, or at least they're going to like just start with like the beginning with the Tomb Raider. I think it was just straight up called Tomb Raider.
Okay.
So I think that's a reach. It's probably not going to happen, but hey, you never know. And I'm sure people would like to see it that own the Switch. And it's a great game. And if they can get it out there for another audience, then it's kudos to them.
Yeah, I just don't know if the Switch can run it and actually do it. I mean, we'll see.
Well, yeah, but the fact that it ran Wolfenstein 2, like that's
true.
That's pretty competitive.
Yeah, and there's no like multiplayer element to it really, so
yeah,
I can see that. Like I remember when Respawn was asked if like Titanfall 2 was going to ever come to the Switch, and they just laughed.
Yeah.
So they're like no, it can't handle the game. So I don't know. It'd be cool if it happened, I guess. I mean, do you think, Graham, though, that's really Switch's like fan base? I mean, it's never bad to have more options.
No, exactly. About the options, like I think they're really going to go hard with the third party, and I think this is a great third party. So if my predictions of Tomb Raider, Fallout, and Mass Effect all come to the Switch, that is 3 big ones.
It is. All right, Steve, what is your Reach prediction?
So before the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 this year, we're going to see a Kingdom Hearts 2.9 coming to the Xbox, and it's going to include all the games from the 1.5 and 2.5 collection and the 2.8 collection on the PlayStation 4. So Xbox owners will be able to play all the Kingdom Hearts games and have the like cutscenes from the other 3 available on the Xbox. And if that happens, I'd absolutely be buying it, even though I own them on PlayStation. Because, I'm crazy about that series, like Graham's crazy about almost everything else.
Not quite. So this is going to be a 500 hours a game that people can put time into, eh?
Sure.
Right.
Nah, it's not that big. It's like 300.
Nah, just 300.
Yeah.
Just 300.
If they weren't as big as that, I would probably more inclined to play it. But I have other games I would choose over it. Like if it was like a shorter,
it's like playing Fallout 4 for the 6th time.
Yeah.
But just because I own it 6 times, I mean I played it 6 times.
All right.
So
my last one, and it's definitely a reach, and it's also a wish. A new full AAA BioShock game will be announced this year during either the Microsoft or Sony show. And I don't know which one. I don't know which one makes more sense. I think really Microsoft makes more sense if they want to make a big splash with it. Because how does BioShock stand out in the middle of like Last of Us 2 and Spider-Man and all the other stuff and Death Stranding, and whatever else. Like it's just gonna get lost in the shuffle there. It'll be a big deal, but I think it stands out more on the Microsoft stage. And remember, the first BioShock was an Xbox exclusive.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was not on PlayStation.
Yes, it was.
And later it was, but not at first.
I don't think so, but okay. So if it's announced during any other conference, I'm not giving you a point for that.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm kidding, but I hope it does happen. I know there's a lot of Bioshock fans, and they deserve a good fourth game, I think. Now's the time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anything else prediction-wise?
No, but I'm definitely excited for E3 and see how right I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up our prediction segment, everybody. If you have your predictions for E3, tell us, send them to us in any of our community chats. You can go on to Facebook, look up the Gaming Hub forums there. You can go on to Twitter, follow us at TXH Gaming Hub there. On Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub there as well. And when you're on any of those, you'll see the link to go to Discord. We'd love for you to join our Discord community and take part in the conversation there. So, all right. Let's move into what's coming out this week and what we can get new in stores before all the really cool stuff gets announced next week. And we'll start with Xbox. So, on the 5th, all three of these games, on the 5th, you can get Vampire, Far Cry 5, Hours of Darkness, and the game we're all waiting for, Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn.
Hell
Graham,
yeah.
I know, this is Christmas for you.
It is.
Graham, how many times have you played the original Shaq Fu game?
Let me count. None.
Okay. That's probably just lying.
Fingers crossed.
So, yeah, Shaq Fu's making a comeback, everybody. If you're excited about it, let us know. You can also send us email, by the way. thegaminghubpodcast@gmail.com. So we'd appreciate that as well. Let us know if you're excited to play Shaq Fu. Let us know your E3 predictions, all that good stuff. We have new games with gold for June. So you can get Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia from the 1st to the 30th. You can still get Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain through the 15th of the month. And on 360, you can get Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed right now. So that's it for Xbox. Steve, what do you got for PlayStation?
All right, so all three games that Tyler mentioned are also coming to PlayStation, and then also on the 5th, you can get Onrush and the Elder Scrolls Online Somerset coming to PlayStation, but they're also coming to Xbox. As far as PS Plus games, you can get Trials Fusion and XCOM 2 available now. Graham, Nintendo.
Okay, so because Tyler said Shaq Fu is one of my favorite games and I play it all the time, Shaq Fu is also available on the Switch, so I can buy it for the Switch as well. No, I'm kidding. I've never played this game. Take my word for it. Also, you can get on June 5th, Happy Birthdays, and then on June 7th, you can pick up the Banner Saga 2. And that is your Switch titles.
All right. So let's move into questions. We have almost 20 minutes for questions this week. So, Steve, what do you got for us?
All right. We'll go with Nick the Bearcat on Discord asks, which controller is your favorite of all time? And which peripheral is your favorite of all time?
Graham, we're going to go to you first here because I know
throw it to me.
that your favorite controller is the DualShock 4.
Yes, that's my favorite controller to throw at the wall when I can't hit that damn options button. Yes, that is it's definitely not my favorite controller of time. Favorite controller of all time. That is kind of tough. I'm gonna just go with something that I'm used right now, and I'm gonna go with the Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch. It's got impeccable battery life. It's USB 3.0, so I guess it charges faster, and it honestly feels like a really well-built controller. I've even owned the Elite controller from the Xbox, but that stupid left stick broke. I had it pretty brand new too. It didn't have very long. So that would be that. As far as peripheral, I'm gonna go with the Super Scope 6 for the Super Nintendo. That game or that thing was fun. Like I don't know what many other games you could use it for, but it came with a disc with multiple games on it, and they had kind of like a Tetris games, but you would like shoot it, and that was fun as hell. I loved that as a kid, and I hope I still have it in Newfoundland.
All right, so I'll go next real quick. My favorite additional well, I guess my favorite primary controller of all time, I would have to say, is the Xbox 360 controller. And I really like the Xbox One controller as well, but I've just become accustomed to the offset thumbsticks. I like the responsiveness of the controller. I actually really liked my Xbox Elite controller, except it ordered stuff for me off the store whenever I set it down, but because of the paddles. But yeah, my favorite peripheral controller would be the NES Advantage from way back.
What is that?
That it was like this huge thing, and well, huge by today's standards, right? And it had the joystick, and the A and B buttons were like huge.
Okay.
On it, and they had the key thing though, Graham, was right above each of the A and B buttons. It had like a little turbo button. So
cheating.
you can select turbo, and then when you play like track and field, where you gotta hit A over and over and over to run.
Mm-hmm.
You just hit turbo and then just hold down A, and you're winning everything. And when you're a little kid, that's awesome, right? So, but yeah, that was my favorite peripheral controller of all time. I remember I had to beg for that as a kid to get it. So, yeah, that would be mine. Steve?
All right. My favorite controller of all time, probably I'm with you, Tyler, the Xbox 360 controller. I like the offset thumbsticks. I do love the Pro controller, and the battery life's amazing for the Switch. However, like the PlayStation, the plus and minus buttons right next to the home and the share buttons, I've pressed the wrong button more times than I can count. When I'm playing Breath of the Wild trying to get into the menus, I accidentally hit because it's hard to get a feel for them because they're not they're not really that different height wise. So it's easy to press the wrong button, just like the share button or the options button on the PlayStation. As far as peripheral goes, I think I'm gonna go with the Rock Band 1 guitar, even over the Guitar Hero guitars, because the Rock Band 1 guitars and actually all the future Rock Band guitars had the 5 buttons on the bottom as well. So you could play solos using those buttons without having to actually strum, and that made the game easier in a lot of ways than the Guitar Hero guitar did. And it was just a fun little thing, and I put countless hours into Rock Band 1 and 2, and so that's what I would go with.
Okay, not to attack your choice.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I didn't like about that is when you snap the headstock in, there was no way to take that out to make it smaller. If you were moving and you wanted to pack it away, you pretty much had to break it to get it out. That's I don't understand why it was like that. Other than that, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Just yell at me.
Real quick, Steve, for your next question, just to clear up on BioShock, because I looked it up here.
Yeah,
we're
right.
both half right.
You're both wrong. Just
so yeah, or we're both wrong. But it got the Rise of the Tomb Raider treatment.
Yeah.
So it came out on the 360 in August of 2007, and it came out on the PS3 in October of 2008. So it was a timed exclusive for Xbox at launch. So all right, I just wanted to clear that up. Next question.
Okay. Next question comes from Brian. He asks, what game did you think you would not like but ended up really enjoying?
That's a good question.
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
Gotta rack my brain here.
Actually, you know what? I know. Grand Theft Auto 5. I'd never really gotten real deep into a GTA game before. And I got 5 just because everybody else got 5. And played it, and I just got sucked in right away. It was so amazing and good. Story-wise, the characters, all of it. So that's mine.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Dark Souls, if only because. So I bought the game, the first game when it came out, and I struggled mightily with it. and I ended up selling it. I think I made it to the Bell Gargoyles, and then I know what happened. I got stuck in the Undead Burg or the Undead Parish when fighting the Capra Demon in that stupid boss arena, and that just frustrated me to no end. And then like I saw Dark Souls 2 on sale, and one of my friends had it, and we were like, okay, we'll co-op it. And then we were playing through that, and I was enjoying it. And then I got Dark Souls 3, and I got super sucked in. And now I've been going back. I went back to Dark Souls 1 to play the heck out of it, and I've been loving it so far. So I'll say the Dark Souls series because I didn't like it at first, and now it's one of my favorites of all time.
Okay, so I kind of have the same experience, except I didn't get rid of it. I was living in Vancouver at the time, and the people I live with, they knew more about the latest video games and all that stuff. And one guy, I don't know if he bought it or he got lent it from a friend or he bought it because somebody didn't like it, but it was Fallout 3. And I watched him play, and nothing like sucked me into it at all. And then at one point, like he was gone or something like that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this game and start. So I played it, and I'm like, oh, you can pick up stuff. So I'm like, oh, ashtray, this, and I just pick up, like everything. And it's like, you are over encumbered. I'm like, oh, you kidding me? Like, so I'm like, this game is not for me or whatever. And I'm not sure at what one point I'm like, well, I'm just going to try this again. But I did, and then I guess I learned how to like manage things properly and saw what games had to offer like that. And then I guess I fell in love with it because I put countless hours into it. That's something you guys didn't know about me.
Graham, there was a day that you weren't that into Fallout?
There was.
Like, I thought your first words were, please stand by. So, no, side question, Graham. You've lived, like, literally coast to coast in Canada.
Yes.
You have followed the only road the whole way.
Yes.
What was your favorite city living in Canada, or is?
Vancouver was pretty amazing. I'm gonna have to go with Vancouver. I'm from Newfoundland. You can't really say it's a city. It's a little town. Like you're surrounded by water and there's nothing to do. So yeah. I'm gonna go with Vancouver. It's a beautiful area and stuff like that, and you don't have to drive very far to see what it has to offer.
Where you're at now, like Toronto-ish area, is it like too much, just too big, or like what makes you like Vancouver more than that?
Well, I guess the mountains is really nice. Like it's nice to look out the window and see a beautiful view of mountains. Here it's like it has like kind of a mountain area and like a valley, but it's not as picturesque or whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
Definitely more pollution too.
Yeah, I suppose.
Called Steel City, so.
Yeah. All right, Steve, what else do we have?
All right, Base God off Discord asks, do you think a sports game could ever win Game of the Year?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's for such a niche audience.
Yeah, there's not broad enough appeal. There are so many, like, quote, hardcore gamers or core gamers that just turn their nose up at sports titles immediately.
Yeah. The only way I see a sports title win is if it was, like, sports but other things involved, or if they went really in depth in like the long shot mode from what's it called, Madden, or the Journey in FIFA. Like if one of those became like a long 40-hour thing where you play a few games but there's other stuff involved, then potentially, but sure. I'm pretty much on the board with you guys, and no way in hell.
Like a first person shooter sports game.
Yeah. Something like that. Like the Gears of War, what was the football game in Gears of War? The Coltrane was like the professional.
I don't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I know. But yeah. All right. Next question. Mm-hmm. Blake asks, if Xbox doesn't show much in the way of games this year, would y'all consider switching console homes to PlayStation 4? So for those of you who might be new, we use our Xbox to like party chat with each other and stuff, and we spend most of our time there, even though I haven't played a game on my Well, I've been playing Dark Souls, so that's not entirely true, but that's about it. to the amount of games I play. I've been playing more on the PlayStation and the Switch, so that's why he asked this question.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm not sure we're the right people to answer, not just because we all have both. So, if there's...
All three, Tyler. Don't forget, you do own a Switch.
Okay, we have both big boy ones and the other one too. Just kidding. Switch is amazing wherever it is.
Well, no, I think
apartment. But
he asked this question to see if we'll consider doing party chat on PlayStation instead and like hang out there more.
So for me, no, because I still think Xbox Live is the better service, and
by far.
And most of I don't remember ever playing a third party game where I felt like I was missing out from playing it on Xbox instead of PlayStation, except maybe Destiny, because you get the extra strike.
Yeah. But especially now that since we own Xbox One X's, like now it's almost better to own it on the Xbox.
Yep.
Graphically. So.
Yep. So I don't really see a scenario there. Like, there's no doubt that right now somebody's got the better games lineup, but that can change. Like, we had somebody in our community this week posting, like, you know, they think it's just time for Xbox to, like, trash the current generation and start her over. I don't think it's there. Remember, 3 years ago, Xbox had better, like, first-party games. And we kept saying about Sony, yeah, you're talking about this stuff, but when is it actually coming? And now it's here with more on the way. So, and Xbox is in a lull right now. So it goes, you know, it's true on both sides at different points. So, but Xbox does, they're in a spot where they have to show something this year. It's got to be big. But I don't see anything that's going to really necessarily take me away as a primary console. How about you, Graham?
Well, I'll just give you a couple examples why I will stick with the Xbox. One is the gamer score. I like contributing to the overall score and having numbers, not, oh, I got this trophy. It looks like every other trophy, but it's still a trophy.
They're different colors, Graham.
Well, yeah, but they're not that big variety of colors. I know platinum is when you got all the other ones. But no, I like having like an overall number, like 10 to 50 to 200, whatever, and just be building towards something bigger. Mm-hmm. And second of all is party chat. Oh my God, PlayStation drives me crazy. Like, I'll be playing Rocket League with my roommate who has a PlayStation, and he'll send me an invite. And I love on Xbox when you get an invite, like whether it's join a party or play a game, you just hold down the Xbox button and it automatically opens up the game or goes to it or opens up party chat. Well, with PlayStation, you gotta hold down the button and you gotta go into your notifications and you gotta select it, and like it's just not so seamless as the Xbox. And I'm so used to playing Xbox that when I go on the PlayStation, I think I can do that, but I'm like, nope. Okay, hold on, I gotta do this and that, and it's like, man, just figure it out. It's simple, and that's my other reason.
All right, Steve, anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would, but you guys won't, so that's kind of forcing my hand a little bit. I have been playing way more of my PlayStation than my Xbox,
I have too.
And honestly, what I've been doing is I'll turn my Xbox on, plug my controller in, switch channels over to HDMI, whatever my PlayStation is plugged into, and playing PlayStation games while talking to you guys on the Xbox. And that seems a little inefficient, but, you know, it doesn't... Yeah. I understand Graham's point of view. I think I like the achievements better, and Xbox Party Chat does work.
All right.
But, yeah, so that's where I'm at.
All right, so that's all the time we have for questions this week, everybody, and we're going to wrap up episode number 99 here. And we want to thank you for joining us, but I also want to remind you one more time, if you're listening to us on Dash Radio, please go subscribe on iTunes, Pocket Cast, CastBox, whatever it is, so you don't miss a single thing during E3 week. We ask you also, if you've been listening for a while and you're like, I like the show, come be part of our community if you haven't done that yet. We want you to have a chance to win some cool stuff during E3, and we're going to have a lot of stuff that we're giving away. So please come do that. The Gaming Hub forums on Facebook, at TXH Gaming Hub on Twitter, TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. And when you're on Twitch, you'll see a link there below the screen, or below the window, for Discord. Please come join our Discord community as well. Let's get as many people here as we can so we can do some really cool giveaways E3 week. and have a lot of fun together as a community. It's a great time to be a gamer and see some really cool, exciting stuff. So,
Okay, I want to throw in one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
YouTube, you forgot to mention
yes.
YouTube. We've been putting up videos on there, been putting some time into it. We have some MLB The Show videos. We have some God of War videos. We have some Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
And
You
that's
play
it.
a little game. Guess who records which one? Shouldn't be too
Yeah.
hard to figure out. But yeah, if you guys go in there and you look in the description, there's links in there that quickly
Yeah.
get you to the other mediums and stuff like that. So go
Yeah.
check it out. And
Yeah.
that's
And it's the Gaming Hub podcast on YouTube.
oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
I forgot.
And last thing, real quick. Also, if your question didn't get answered, don't worry. We're gonna do a lot of questions next week.
Yeah.
So join all the communities, ask the questions, and have a chance of winning stuff.
Next week, guys, is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to celebrate 2 years and 100 episodes.
We hit
We've been
triple
looking forward to
digits.
it for a long, long time, and
Yep.
we're finally there. So please come be a part of that with us. And we're doing it because of you. So we'd love for you to be part of it with us. And lastly, if you're like, hey, I want to ask a question, but I really don't want to go and join all that stuff, send us an email, thegaminghubpodcast@gmail.com. So that's going to do it, everybody, for episode number 99. We're out of here for today, but we'll be back next week to celebrate episode 100 with all of you. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Play some great games. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.